Tell us about your birthday.
It was the worst. They made me. We're 3 hours into our Southwest flight. They don't stop the plane. They
Stop the plane.
They pull over in the middle of the ocean.
They make an announcement, and they're like, "We're so sorry, but we have a couple announcements." They make me go to the front. They ask me, "Has a plane full of 200 people ever sung to you on your birthday?" And I was like, "Why would they have?"
We all put our lights on.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Oh man, it was. To be fair, the flight attendants for Southwest, excellent, like A+.
Yeah.
Gave me a toilet paper birthday cake.
Yeah.
With the little Southwest little stirs as candles.
We'll throw a photo of that up there.
It was incredible.
It was top notch. But as someone who hates being the center of attention, literal nightmare. Like it was the worst. Like Ryan Smith, where are you? Like you would hate it. It was terrible. But other than that, my birthday was great.
This is a 10 out of
So,
10.
Cheers.
Oh, and of course, the one and only person who is literally the center of the attention of the video right now was the one that orchestrated the
100%.
Shocker.
Every time I get on a flight, I tell the flight attendants to make some sort of an announcement. And if it's not a real announcement, it's a fake announcement.
It's somebody's birthday.
It's got to be
Somebody
somebody's
won something.
birthday
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
100%.
All right.
Just planes by myself tomorrow morning at 5:30. I'm going to tell them to make an announcement. Congrats to Beta Bay Volleyball Club on a great tournament. I'll be the only person who knows what Beta Bay is.
How about for you, Ariel? You brought the girls with you, so you were
Yeah, the girls came with us. It was not as bender of a bender as I would have liked it to be a bender, but
It's probably good. Take a pause.
yeah, it was good to have them there. But it's hard to have children and run them around like they're a college volleyball team. So
they were at
everything. They did not miss anything. They were at Serve and Pass. They were at team meals. They were at. Actually, they were not at film or scouting report.
Slackers.
That's the only thing.
That's why we couldn't side out in row 4. Classic.
That's because their mom can barely get through that. So we were like, we're gonna skip that one. But other than that, they were at everything. And Riley fell asleep and was on the jumbotron, which was super cute. And I was on the jumbotron being sad about Stanford losing, and that was super cute. And
Abe Wagner was almost on the jumbotron.
Abe Wagner was on the jumbotron, took his shirt off, and then they panned away
Oh yeah,
from
Matt
him.
didn't know about this.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they had like some college girls were sitting in front of us, and then they panned over to the college girls. They were like, "Hey, whatever." And Abe's right behind them, sees he's on the jumbotron, takes his shirt off.
It was like one of like the flex cams, right?
Yeah,
so the girls
yeah.
in the row right in front of them.
They're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they were like, yeah, they're pretty strong. And then Abe's like,
And Abe's like,
this is my moment.
Yeah, this is me.
It was funny.
Teresa
and then
was
they
not happy.
and then they
She
just
was just
panned
like,
away.
Inappropriate. We're out.
It was incredible.
Oh man,
I love Abe.
It was great.
Yeah.
MVP.
It was nice because all the parents were there, and there was a huge group of people that that traveled. And John's birthday was on Thursday, and so we went to Outrigger Canoe Club for that.
The big 60 for John.
Yep, super fun. Mason was the MVP and babysat the girls for us, so that was the one night that I got to go do something.
Shout out to Mason. Nice
Shout
work.
out to Mason. Mason coming through clutch. Yeah, it was a fun trip. It was a good trip.
Ton of
Yeah,
fun.
lots of good. My perspective on number one, having you guys there, having Mason there, I thought it was super fun just to kind of see the community around Stanford men's volleyball. Obviously, like being a part of the staff, I'm very biased about everything that goes on with the program. But getting to have our kids there, I thought was awesome. That's like the first time they've really traveled fully with the team. And you had a nice post about it, but just like Costi was incredible throughout all of that. It would have been so easy to, be fully just immersed and caught up in everything that was going on with the team. And obviously John put everything he had into the group. The whole staff did while we were there. But to be able to kind of also understand the family dynamic around it and be really welcoming in that was just incredible. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. It's what I want our kids to experience. So getting to kind of fully kind of live that out was awesome. And of course to you as well, since you kind of carried the the majority of the burden there while we were preparing and doing film and scouting report and team yoga and workouts and all those different things.
The girls joined in yoga. The girls joined in their little stretch.
We did our team. We had a team swim, and the girls went out into the ocean with the boys. Just it's so cool for them. They obviously know like the Beta Bay boys who are on the team, but like Hallie is now arch nemesis is with Ethan Hill because Ethan laughed at her when she like fell.
Can't do that. Huge mistake.
Yeah, then like just seeing Spencer with him, and just a lot of the other boys getting to know them and getting to see them interact is super cool.
Yep.
So that was a really special moment. Even though we lost 2 tough matches, there was some good things there that I'm super proud of and excited for as we kind of continue to work forward. And we've got some more trips where the girls potentially will join with the team, and that's a cool thing for me as a dad to see. So good stuff that came from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think that means the next topic should be our AVCA rankings, since Monday is the new rankings as we go.
AVCA rankings, closest one yet to like realistic power rankings that we've got.
Yeah, getting closer.
Getting closer.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, again, I don't want to like just murder this poll, but like it just seems lazy, right?
Mhm.
Like Long Beach played great night 1. Like I watched sets 1 and 4 earlier of both matches, and then the second night I thought UCLA. I mean, like I didn't think Rowan set all that well night 1. They didn't run a lot of stuff out of the middle of the court, and then they came back and like they figured it out. Champlin played at the libero. I mean, Sloan comes in and just has a monster night. Like just for them to like leave it as much of a gap as they left it just seems kind of silly. And then Grand Canyon, right? I think is the only undefeated team now.
Correct.
But just hasn't played a tough schedule yet, right? So it's not a knock on their future performance, but it's just how are you going to kind of keep them so high up there
Yep.
until they beat somebody? But I'm not like bearish on Grand Canyon or anything. But I think we'll see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we got
BYU's at 6, Irvine's at 7, Ohio State 8, Penn State 9, Loyola 10.
What did you think of Long Beach versus UCLA this week?
I was stoked. Like I watched it right before I drove down here actually. And like I came away, I was like, whoa, like I was just like amped. Like that was cool. I was like ready to like send the matches to like our portal and be like, guys, you have to mandatory viewing, you gotta watch it. It was really cool. Yeah, I mean probably of the volleyball I've seen so far. I mean Hawaii's probably in my top 3 as well, but like that was big boy volleyball, and those are big time outside hitters. I mean UCLA's middles are just stupid. And then yeah, I mean watching Mason Briggs and Ethan Champlin play on night 2, like that was really good libero play. I mean it was a lot of fun to watch. So go watch.
Long Beach State crowd night 1, couple like a big weekend for men's volleyball crowds. Hawaii
I
had
thought so too.
8,000 on a Wednesday, and then almost 10,000. They were like 9,300 or something on the Friday.
Yep.
Some really big. So 2 really big crowds at Hawaii, and then you got Long Beach with a sellout at about 4,300
Mm-hmm.
in the pyramid. So it looks packed, and then
It is packed.
It feels packed.
Yeah, it's
to be
packed.
clear.
Yeah, they fill it, right? But then you go just under that, like UCLA's crowd at UCLA was just under 4,000, but they're in Poly, so it's like it just feels a little bit
Doesn't feel packed.
yeah, a little bit less, but still
a lot
crowd
of
wise,
people.
a big crowd that was there and in attendance. So some good things kind of being seen across the board for men's volleyball. Obviously, BYU and Hawaii are traditionally kind of powerhouses. I think Long Beach State's kind of become a powerhouse in terms of their crowd too.
100%.
Yeah,
Just
that's
a really-
is for sure.
Really cool experience in-house experience when you're there.
Long Beach is, for me, the best place to watch a volleyball game.
Best place?
For sure.
Is that because they have a bar on the floor?
Correct. They having a like luxury box type of thing and being able to like have that experience while watching a game. I don't think that anybody else has that.
No, I don't think there is a luxury box experience. I mean, I wouldn't say the sandbar is a luxury box, but it's the closest
but
thing
it's
of like an
it's-
elevated
yeah.
experience.
I mean, I think more teams have got to start doing this. But I mean, even for women's games too, like you got to have some sort of a luxury experience at some of these games.
Well, doesn't
They've got some stuff with like PBF going on, right? Where they have like couches and like some, I don't know if it's like, tables and like bottle service type of, kind of ambiance behind the end lines.
Yeah, but they've got an elevated experience for sure. And I think Nebraska has some suites. I could be wrong.
Like up in like the middle ring, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of those were offices, but maybe. Man, off the top, where's Spencer? We need him. He's been there most recently.
Wickens, comment for us. Let us know.
We need more elevated experiences at games.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Long Beach. That's a cool aspect of Long Beach that I haven't seen somewhere else. Let's talk about some upsets. Okay, in the past 2 weeks, there has been
huge weekend for upsets.
There's been some big
Huge.
upsets. I want to start with Damon. You guys see Damon?
Sure.
Damon College taking down Santa Barbara.
We saw it. We didn't watch it, but we saw that they did that.
Well, isn't
You
Gleason's your
didn't watch
boy, right?
I didn't watch what?
Yeah, I didn't
Isn't
watch
Gleason
it.
your boy?
Yeah, I love Donnie. Yeah, that guy's awesome.
But you didn't watch the game.
I did not watch the game.
No.
I saw the highlights. You see that they won. I looked at the stats. Like
Can't watch every game on a Friday.
Santa
right?
Barbara didn't
Exactly.
play all of their quote starters,
Sure.
but still, like
They're Division I players.
they're-
Like they're
yeah,
good volleyball
exactly.
guys. Yeah.
yeah, no knock on Damon, and that they beat
feel like
CSUN last year when they
Damon-
were ranked.
right.
Like, that's
Damon,
2 years in a
Damon
row.
has been trending up for the last 5 years for
Yeah.
sure.
That was probably the biggest one.
Where is Damon?
Buffalo.
It's
New York?
yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
really?
I think it's
upstate.
sorry, Donnie. I'm pretty sure it's Buffalo, but it's
Yeah.
cold and it's New York.
I want to say northeast.
Cold in New York. Okay.
Northeast New York.
Cool.
Definitely New York.
Where is Wickens? Oh man, the
Masters and
Oh
Northridge.
yeah, Masters Northridge. Yeah, first you had Northridge beat Stanford. Okay, then you had Masters beat CSUN
CSUN.
in 3,
In 3.
Yeah.
which was with all of CSUN starters, which was very impressive as well. They played Concordia and they lost in 4.
Princeton, I think, dropped 2 this weekend. Is that true?
Really?
Man, I hope I'm not. We can cut this if I'm making this up.
No,
but
I think we should keep it. We should just make
I'm
everything
not
up.
as confident as you are that we should keep it. This is where we need a producer to be like, yeah,
No.
actually, no, Princeton went undefeated this weekend. Idiot. Dang it.
Lincoln Memorial's on here.
That's a good team. They got some guys. They play good volleyball.
I mean, everyone's kind of beating everyone right now. Like
Yeah.
USC just beat Irvine.
All the 10 to 20s, man. It's just it's a cluster.
It's all
down there.
over.
Yeah.
It's great to see for men's volleyball. You got so many different teams that on any given night can win. That has not been the case really the past number of years. There's a lot more parity. I think we're starting to see kind of the top teams start to separate themselves a little bit,
A little bit.
but even still, none of them besides Grand Canyon are unscathed when it comes to results this far.
Yeah. I still think UCLA is head, shoulders, feet, and toes above everybody. And I'll stand by it.
I don't know.
I do. I think they'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, how do you-
But that being said, if they don't figure it out, I'm okay with that as well. Like,
sit on a fence. Jeez, good lord. I mean, but like, if all of these teams are if the parity is like where it's good for the sport, right? How do you differentiate? Is it just recruiting? Because there are only so many dudes playing men's volleyball,
Sure.
right? And obviously that's growing, and more states have, sanctioned it as a high school sport, and that's awesome, and that's great for the community. But like, let's say that you're somewhere in the 14 to 20. What do you have to do?
international.
Yeah, I mean,
Poland.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of schools that go international, rightfully so, right?
Start thinking outside the box.
Specifically, if you're a school that's not a a recruiting powerhouse come stateside, like a lot of those Southern California schools have that advantage in the sense that there's a large pipeline that sees that as the pinnacle and they want to go there. They're like, I want to just be in California.
Yeah.
Whereas you get an international kid and they're like, I just want to be in the United States. You're in the United States?
That's the win.
Sign me up. I'm in. I'm good to go. So international is one. I think style of play is the other way to kind of differentiate.
That's what I was about to say. Like, number one, start training differently. Maybe start not to say like start training a little bit better, but like maybe start training differently. And number two, throw money at the problem. If these schools invest in their program, if you want to throw money at this issue, you're going to be, it's not that hard to invest in a good top level men's volleyball program if you put money into the problem. Go hire somebody major, go bring somebody to come in and actually revamp the program, and you're probably going to be in the top 10 easily, if not in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, UC Irvine back in the day was a good example, kind of when there was mid-majors kind of made the choice to go after the smaller sports, like UC Irvine put money into men's volleyball, right? They had Sparrow, they were fully funded. They went from having, one assistant to two, right? Those little things make a difference. And back then you could get away with just that. And now it's like, you've got these schools getting even bigger contracts, and all that money trickles down from football to these other sports, where the USCs and the UCLAs and these bigger programs they just have a bigger budget. But you can still be a mid-major and decide that you're going to go big into these smaller sports, like UOP as an example. They cut men's volleyball, but they went heavy into water polo.
Yeah.
Right. They are like, all right, we're going to never compete in basketball. Like we're still going to spend our money and do our thing there, but we're going to go all in on water polo. We're going to hire the best coach we possibly can. We're going to give him a max contract to make it as big as possible so he stays, and we're going to give him all the money he needs to go international.
And
their team is completely international, and they are legit every year. They're a top 5 program every single year because they've made that conscious choice of, hey, we're literally branding ourselves as Water Polo U.
Yep.
Right. And there most certainly can be a more mid-major program that goes, hey, we are men's volleyball U.
And I think that the mid-majors that have done that well are schools like Lewis have done it well. Lewis and Loyola are like the two that are in the Midwest that did a good job of that and did a good job of it back in the day. I would say like schools like, honestly, like Juniata and like those schools like tried to invest in men's volleyball, and they were smaller schools that like really put into volleyball and like became powerhouses in where they were at.
Springfield can be in that.
Springfield
as well.
for sure, absolutely. Grand Canyon.
Take any of these
Grand
schools.
Canyon's great,
Take Grand Canyon and you go, hey, we've got a good team. We've got something going on here. We're in an up and coming area for boys volleyball, right? Like Lewis and Loyola kind of rode the wave of the growth of Chicago boys volleyball, whereas Southern California has had a stronghold of boys volleyball, and so they've had a lot of talent over the years.
Yep.
Penn State kind of pulls all of the East Coast talent.
They've had a mainstay coach there forever,
right?
Who
And
has done a great
Pav
job.
has been the guy for them, and so he's super consistent. He knows how this works and how to get to the end and be in position. But yeah, you take a mid-major that can just say, hey, we're gonna throw some extra money at this. We're gonna make sure this team is fully supported, fully staffed with a Dovo, with 2 assistants, head coach is top of the line head coach. We're gonna make sure that everything they need is covered, and see what they can go do. And you're gonna get some results like a Grand Canyon. You're gonna get some results like an Irvine back in the day. Chad.
Yes, Matt.
No longer working as a people analytics for whatever tech company.
Yep.
Can you let us know what's new? What do we got on the Chad Gordon lifeline here?
Yeah, I mean, so we've been working on computer vision for volleyball for the last 2 years or so, something like that. And so we're signing some stuff with Volley Station, and we're going to basically pursue that, bringing that to market through Volley Station as a great partner, calling it like Volley Station AI, something like that. And basically trying to bring volleyball forward as a sport through data and in kind of the same path that NFL, NBA, all these other big sports have kind of gone through. We're at the nascent stages, obviously, right now, but it's cool to not have a 9 to 5 and just be working on something exciting. So,
yep,
that's
So we're talking like some next gen stats type of a deal.
Yeah, player tracking, player ID, being able to just use the video, right, to pick up what's happening on the court, who everybody is, and what's going on, and then based on some of that stuff, you can start building models, right, to maybe have the computer tell you what's important or what matters, or what is good, what is hard, what is whatever.
Yeah.
So.
And that you think coming from a coach perspective, looking at what you're building and what you guys are working on, how do you see this thing that you're creating helping coaches? How do you see it? Or like, what do you think the biggest factor it is that you guys are going to find for the volleyball industry? Is it coaching? Is it
I'm not sure yet. I mean, like there's obviously a sports betting angle of any kind of data. But I think also the defensive side of the ball is always something that's really hard to kind of quantify, and we've seen that in the NFL or NBA, and just being able to put better numbers, right? You look at a Mason Briggs, he's everywhere, right? And like you can't right now show the value someone like that brings unless you watch the video. If you watch UCLA Long Beach, they're passing with 3, toss goes up, and they all shift. Right, same deal as like they start with 4, toss goes up, they all shift, and they hide their opposite, and Mason ends up passing about 1 out of 2 balls for Long Beach.
Yeah,
I don't know how to credit that right now, right? Because you don't know where everybody is, you don't know where they are at all times, and so I think it'll really open some interesting doors on parts of the game that are currently kind of like underwater. But I don't have a better answer now. But come back in a few months, so we'll see.
I know this is the part where Ariel just like nods her head, but is also just falling asleep, and like she's gonna tune out for a bit. But I got more. I got one more nerdy question to ask you.
Matt's the worst.
Expected value.
Yeah.
When you like, if someone's following you at VolleyDork,
sure,
right, or excuse me, at volley.dork on Instagram, and they see some of the charts and things that you put up, one of the big numbers that you kind of use to quantify your rankings for, say top back row attackers or top outside hitters or top liberos is expected value. Mm-hmm. I saw some good conversation on your Instagram post about this. Can you lay it out for the people of what like the easy way to understand expected value is and why it's important to understand?
Pretend you're teaching me.
Because Ariel definitely knows what she's talking about right
now. If you shank the pass, your team is in a worse position to score the point.
Correct.
And then if you were able to score out of that position, you should get more credit than if you were to play that first ball perfectly. I think of expected value. There was a great post for like expected goals in soccer, and they like kind of like labeled out a few things of like, 10% expected goals. It's like, I can't believe he shot it from 100 yards away. It was unreal, ricochet, whatever. And then like you get all the way to the other end of like, man, this was worth 9/10 of an expected goal. Man, he missed a sitter. It's like the goalie's behind him and the guy trips and like he like kicks it out of bounds. Like kind of thinking about it that way of how difficult the situation is, because all the situations are not equal, right? So if somebody's hitting 300, is that good or is that bad? And if it's your middle, it's probably pretty medium. If it's your outside and all you guys have been doing are shanking the ball and then chucking it high, it's a pretty good number to be hitting out of system. And so expected value, the idea is that you just account for all the situations that you're dealt, you aggregate across all of them, and then you see like, hey, based on, you had 10 situations, given the context, given the difficulty of all the situations, we expected you to hit about 200, right? Because that's what all of your peers have done, given the strength of schedule that your opponent, like all of these things. Hey, you actually hit 300. We want to give you some love for that, right? The same way of like, I guess the opposite is, you were given 5 overpasses and you hit all 5 in the net. That's way worse, right? Because you're supposed to win those points, right? Those are just, he missed like you net while hitting the overpass. You get docked a lot of points there because that should be a layup. So that's kind of how I would start to think about it. But obviously that's just attacking, and you can expand expected value to any touch. So
blocking, passing, digging.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how you can start to quantify a little bit more of like, all right, what does this libero bring in comparison to maybe the second libero on my bench? Do I use a defensive libero and a serve receive libero and things along those lines? So starting to look more holistically at the entire play rather than just kill, air, in play, right? Does it take into account kind of the quality of your swing if you get them out of system versus if they're in system?
Yeah, of course, right? Because only about 50% of swings, are terminal, right? Either you score or you make an error. It's a little bit higher on the men's side, of course, but, there's a whole other half of attacking that we just ignore, right? You just count it, it's a wash, it's a 0.
Yeah.
But if I chip an easy ball, again, to Mason Briggs, there you go, shout out, it's going to be perfect, and now you put the other team in an excellent position to score versus, okay, I hit it so hard, middle back shanks it, setter has to run off the court, guys launching a high ball. if you're UCLA, maybe you're okay hitting that high ball. But if, you're a 14s boys club team, that might as well be a point for the offense. Like, there's no chance those guys are going to score that ball. They're going to double the set and they're going to hit it out of bounds, right? So I've basically scored. And so you need to, be able to differentiate between those two things, because there is a huge value change, not always just in one swing, but like, let's say that you take 10, 20, 30 swings a match, you're talking about a few points, right? A half dozen points just in non-terminal value that you could add. But right now, again, right, we count all those as zeros.
Yeah.
So that's the main goal here.
Love it. VolleyDork. Follow him, guys.
Or don't. It's fine.
Take a look. He's going to be all over your No Easy Buckets feed regardless. So
Thanks, Dustin.
all right, what's next on the docket? Ariel, this is the time where you can come back into the conversation now.
I got 17 comments during that whole rant about how women shouldn't be coaches, so it's fine. Don't worry, I've got my own thing going on.
It's all right. You're not wearing sleeves. It's okay.
It's fine.
Hobo coach.
Hobo coach. I'm wearing that outfit just in different colors right now.
People
Not even
were giving her so much flack about her outfit of the cutoff sleeve and the pants that she, out of spite, went on the website and bought every single color of the pants and the shirt and sent it to the house so that she has the same outfit in every different color possible.
We're only in Orlando, like, what, 9 days? Like,
Yeah.
are you going to get through all of them? or-
Oh, don't worry, I've got plenty.
It's the day after the Super Bowl. Rest in peace to the Niners. Super Bowl themed question, though. Watching all the ads yesterday, if you could get a 30-second Super Bowl ad, had to be volleyball related, but you got it for free, what would you do with your 30-second Super Bowl spot?
Okay, I'm going to set the scene.
Please. We don't have a scene currently, so someone's got to set it.
You know the ASPCA commercial that's like in the arms of an angel?
In the arms
Yeah.
Yep.
of an
Yeah.
angel. With a
That-
little puppy shivering in the corner.
Yes.
That song starts.
Is there a puppy or no puppy?
There's a poor little 12s team shivering in the corner. They're cheering for their team and they go on to the sport court and a referee starts blowing their whistle at them saying, "Get off the sport court in the arms of an angel."
Tears are shed.
And then it would
And they
go,
all quit volleyball.
and then it would all go dark, and in big yellow letters it'd be like, "Want to get this rule changed in volleyball? Sign this change.com
Donate
petition.
now."
Donate now." To ban all referees from yelling at children to get off the
Your
sport court.
donations
Yeah.
keep referees and children off the streets.
I think that's an incredible 30-second commercial.
So a 30-second ad about getting rid of the rule about kids coming on the sport court.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's no reason that it should be. We should stop. Let's stop kids from having fun, even though we've already told them not that they can't play the sport.
You're talking the kids that are on the bench.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
Coach
let's-
decided you can't play.
Coach decided they want to play. Like, those kids want to be on the court. Let's have the referees yell at them more for cheering for their team. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard about.
Where do you draw the line? Can they?
No, they can't go on the court. Maybe like the actual playing service. Okay, fine.
Illegal sub-6.
All right.
Yeah, maybe
So you
they,
can't go on the actual court, but you can
that's
step on
fair.
the sport court.
Yeah, they can do anything outside of the lines of the volleyball court. Yeah,
We're
sure.
talking after the rally is done.
From the time the whistle blows, they can do. Honestly, I think they should be able to run onto the court. But I'm asking for a lot there.
That's a
so
hot take.
I
That's
mean,
a hot take.
I
Baby
think that-
steps.
I
Baby
think
steps.
that until every volleyball event looks more like 6-man, I think I'm not going to stop doing this. Like, they should be able to go run and cheer and great, and like they have a certain amount of time, but like, let's let the kids kid.
That's how the commercial ends. Let the kids kid.
Let the kids kid.
Okay, I like it. Chad?
Send me your money. Yeah. Oh, man. I'd probably take 10 seconds. I don't have a nice scene or anything.
Yeah, what's your song?
I don't have a song. You can somebody.
Who's your spokeswoman?
Mine's Jennifer Aniston.
She's in everything. D-balls are stupid. At least anybody under the age of 17. Why? Do you not like points? Like, what are you doing?
Expected value, 0.
0. It's great for the other team. Oh, man. Or 12s. 12 D-balls.
No, that's pipes.
D-ball and pipe. Anything out of the, you're actually probably better in the back row
Yeah.
at 12s.
True.
So set your guy. D-balls are stupid.
Okay, what happens if like you've got George on your team and you're 16s? You setting D-balls?
Probably not a ton. Maybe like 1 or 2.
Okay.
but I'm not blocking it at 16s. No chance.
Love that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna give it. Look, if you can hit a positive number, cheers.
Yeah. I agree.
And if we play you in the finals, and there's finally a guy like George who can get up and just smoke a all right, hey guys, we're just gonna treat it like they're in system front row. So, like it's no problem.
We'll adjust in the finals.
Sure.
Okay.
That's, oh no, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. I'm not gonna base my whole strategy around
No.
that. 2, got to teach the jam. Got off speed, 2 hand, 1 hand, left hand.
In the
right hand.
commercial?
No, I'm not taking my 10 seconds to teach it.
Maybe a QR code
I
to
thought
like
you were
a
about to
YouTube.
say
No.
you teach the jam in
no.
your commercial.
This is how you
You gotta promote it. Again, just even watching earlier tonight, Long Beach, Siapanis, he scored triple block and he set it to zone 4, and he scored.
Okay, so what's in the commercial?
Yay, jams and off speed. Be creative. It's not. Look, I'll have somebody media direct and produce whatever. I'm the idea guy. I don't stop it.
Big picture.
I didn't tell you what kind of dog you needed in your 12s commercial. All right, so
A
whatever.
golden retriever,
Whatever.
obviously.
They want your money, yeah. And then third, oh man, I think you got to train like Milan. Like you got to be able to hit high balls like Hawaii does. Those guys are just unreal. They've been automatic. I talked to Jones the other day, and I was like, you have to do this. You have to be able to smoke high balls, and I don't think enough teams can. Even watching UCLA and Long Beach, B+. Hawaii, A.
A this weekend.
In general.
Yeah, A in general.
They have
You're
won
right,
a couple of
you're right, you're right,
natties,
you're right.
and they were
you're
okay
right,
in
you're
those
right,
two.
You're right. You're right.
So D-balls are stupid. Train like Milan. Be more creative. All that stuff.
People will be like, "Wow,
This
this
is
Super
stupid
Bowl
commercial."
is weird."
Yeah.
This commercials. There's 3 commercials in this one
Who's
commercial.
Milan?
In my head, when you I saw this question, it was more like the Tim Ferriss, if you had a billboard, what would you say on it? That's kind of how I took it. I'm
Okay.
not looking for people wow, that was the best Doritos commercial of all time
Well,
or whatever.
your billboard's very. That's gonna be hard to read as I'm driving down the 101. man.
Drive
That's a lot
slower.
of words. That's a lot
There's
of words.
traffic when
Traffic.
you're leaving
Yeah.
Stanford. Shut up. You
guy-
have plenty of time.
This dude wrote an entire novel on this billboard over here.
Well, I'm not the creative director of this, so
I'm telling you, mine's
yours
gonna
is
hit.
better for.
Mine's gonna hit for views.
Hey Matt, what would you? Damn it.
Honestly, I haven't known the answer the entire time. I've just
Oh,
been
right
waiting
now?
for. No, I'm the first thing that comes to my mind if I had a 30-second Super Bowl spot would just be a QR code with a person pointing at it.
This is such a mad answer.
Just a person pointing at this QR code for 30 seconds, not saying anything. It's gonna be a bunch of people that click on it, and it's just gonna take you to beta base summer camps.
Matt's trying to monetize.
It's an
this.
actual.
I'm gonna
it's an
mon-
actual marketing.
I'm gonna
opportunity.
monetize the Super Bowl commercial,
These
and
are
we're gonna have
actually-
fully booked beta base summer camps all summer.
This is so on brand for all of us.
Yeah,
Mine was completely.
We all suck.
Yeah. Mine was full on laid out for everybody. Yours was 3 high level volleyball things, and yours was a QR code to go make money.
Yeah, that's just where my brain immediately went to. Is got summer camps coming up. Got to fill these babies out.
No one's gonna cry over our commercial, like the freaking Kia with the grandfather's ice skating thing.
Yeah,
People
the
would
No,
cry.
I'm not crying over
The other
12-year-olds.
thing-
People would be like, the poor 12-year-olds.
The other thing that I would also, the other thought I had was just a 30 think of it like a billboard, but 30 seconds of just play boys volleyball.
Can this
3
dog
words.
get out?
Just play boys volleyball. That's the other one. Just put it on there and
Yeah.
maybe have a stat of fastest growing sport in the country.
Oh, that's a good
Just
one.
to help hey, let's just get
Yeah.
people looking. And then maybe
Yeah.
a QR code that goes to a thing that's find the nearest boys volleyball club by you.
I like it.
Then you have a listing.
Well, I like the. I know we don't want to release too much, but you already put it out on Instagram for the beach club on the sleeve. Just the not for everybody.
Yeah.
I love
For
that.
everybody.
Just hey man, only the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah,
Only
exactly.
the cool kids play boys volleyball. It's
Yeah.
not for everybody. That's fine.
It might not be for you.
It's
That's no
not-
problem.
If it's not for you, that's okay with
Yeah.
us.
You like that slogan?
I loved it actually. I really I was hoping when I went into the garage, you'd have stuff for me,
You know who came up with that slogan?
Jackson.
The creative director,
So not me.
Ariel.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
I was
Who-
about
Of the
to- I
of the
was
two of you
about
who's
to-
creative? Oh yeah.
I was
forgot.
about to lose my marbles on you taking credit for that. I
Oh
would've-
no,
I
I'll
was-
fully give you
These
credit.
microphones are
we
heavy.
definitely have a battle in our house of who comes up with what. because there are times where I think I came up with something and you're like, that was mine. And then you think you came up with something. I'm like, no, that was mine.
Yes.
But we have
That's
this
happened-
documented like that you have dementia already, right? Like we know that you can't remember anything.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know when I came up with something and when you came up with it. That was fully you. That was a good. Now, honestly,
That was me.
you came up with it during our tryouts, and it was like you were talking about putting it on our offer letter, and I was like a little
yes.
I was a little bit iffy on it. I was like, oh,
Actually, I do remember this. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe.
like on the offer letter to give to kids, being like not for everyone. I was like, damn, that's kind of intense. Like it might be a little intense for tryouts.
It's boys volleyball. It's not that cutthroat.
When we talk about like making boys volleyball cool, is there needs to be more media exposure to it.
Yeah.
There needs to be more people who are willing to, talk about their experience and be creative with what they do with it. But also just finding ways to make it more of a thing people want to be a part of. This is something that Dustin talks about all the time is like, I want to make this thing cool. Like what would I have wanted as a kid? What would I have related to that would make this something that I would want to be a part of? And I think there's a lot of different ways to do that. And we need more people who are thinking in that terms to try and make this thing cool.